All right. So this is Reup Productions' first podcast, and we're here with Angel Carlos, real estate agent, real estate made simple. We just shot 3 podcasts for you. So how you feeling now?
I feel great. I think it's something that's been in the works. It's something that you guys pushed me to do as well. Like, you guys suggested in the beginning when we started working together. So I feel that, the time has come, and now, man, after 3 episodes, I feel great. I feel like, we can do 30, we can do 60, we can do 90. As we progress, obviously, we'll get better. Like I said, I already picked up from my lessons from episode 1, 2, and then 3. And hopefully, I'll pick up from the 4th and stuff. So it's just work in progress, man. Production in progress, no pun intended.
So you don't think that there's a little bit of a fatigue factor with doing something like this, where it's like pretty, like you have to keep your mind within it for, an hour and a half, 2 hours at this point now?
Well, I think it's just we keep learning new things as we go, kind of like in the conversation, kind of like how we keep a conversation alive, right? I feel like once I started interviewing like people or just having people talk about certain concepts or topics, then I feel like from there we could progress it. If we're really listening, and if you're really listening, then I feel like you can progress the conversation and take it where it's naturally or organically going to go, or you could take it the ways that, hey, let's take it in, let me elaborate, or let this person elaborate, X something.
Yeah.
But the point is, the conversation progresses.
Right, totally. We were recently just talking about being in front of the camera and how even for you, even me right now, like being so nervous about it. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things in your mind that help you like push through that? I think I have some in my mind while it's going on, but I'd like to hear what you think about it.
Well, initially, like just to get over the nervousness, man, I think that will never go away. I think you'll always get it. Initially, whenever like you guys say record, or you guys sign the little like, hey, episode 3 and
clanker.
stuff. Yeah, dude. Like once that thing goes off, it's like, oh shit, like little nerves kick in or something. But then
this is
like,
real.
Yeah, this is real. But then also, like I mentioned to you in the conversation we previously had, that like sometimes like, with the experience that I've gotten, right, that I learned through all the videos and stuff, how to like, you learn how to control these nervous quirks and stuff, or little tweaks that you have. I feel that, over time now it's like you have to look out for others and make them feel comfortable, because then from there, it's like you really, like, I'm not going to say you mastered it, but you've learned from your errors and stuff.
Well, it's almost even being so new to it right now, but it feels like there's an energy that's bouncing off and Definitely. Between us, and I think maybe that would even translate to if you are alone, like bouncing it off the person that's like shooting it. It's
yes.
like, like when you are feeling nervous, to give in a little bit, but also like, hey, there's someone else there, like ready to like just feel the energy,
bounce it back, and then
you'll
catch the rhythm, and then it's just freaking magic from there. Let it flow organically from there. But one of the things that I do usually, it's like, aside from like what I mentioned, that just kind of learn how to control the nerves. Initially, like they're always going to be there, but I think one of the things that I do is just telling myself, it's like, man, well, one, you got to keep that promise to yourself. Like I always keep that promise, like, dude, I got to record. I said I was going to record X amount of videos. I have to record, and at least I have to get that amount. So say if I told myself I have to record 10 videos, right? Like, bro, if I'm like pushing or struggling by the 6th or the 7th, it's like we got to do whatever we got to do to like push through, like
to make it
whether
happen.
It's you guys like helping me word by word, or like me just like taking a drink of water or taking a break or something. But the point is we have to get it done, and most importantly, it's just that promise. I feel like you really have to dig into yourself and really tell yourself, like, dude, this shit's gonna get done regardless. Like, and it gets done, dude. So I think that's one of the ways that I really control the nervousness, is just remembering, kind of like digging deeper for that reasoning, and then that purpose of like, dude, this has
yourself.
to get done. Yes, you have
to do it. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that then will kind of transition into the idea of like, you have to do this. Like getting in front of the camera in 2022, going into 2023 is like, it's no longer an option. It pretty much hasn't been an option, but it's like even more necessary.
Yes. No, definitely. I agree. I think more, it's not even like, you do have the choice, right? You could decide not to, but I think there's like so much at stake, right? Like I feel like there's so much at stake where, like, if you do see the opportunity and you do see that, camera or like being on camera and producing content, video content could bring so much opportunity, why wouldn't you take it, right? I think we're so stuck on our wiring sometimes of thinking negative of like what's gonna go wrong,
Yeah.
what's gonna go bad, what's this and that. What are
Me
they
too.
gonna think?
I'm always about that.
Yeah, what are they gonna think? What are they gonna like say when I like fuck up this word or when I say this or this and that or when I stutter, when I get nervous, I start shaking and stuff, right? Like I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna overthink that. I think of the reward. I'm like, hey, you know what? I think of it like imagine like those express lanes, right? You're off over there like on the highway. I think of it like if people aren't sure they know that they're gonna take that express lane or the express way, pretty much it's like I think that they might overthink it. Like, why isn't anyone? Because it's empty, right? Say it's empty. It's an empty road. So like if they're not taking it, people are gonna question. It's like, why aren't people taking this express lane here, man? When they're taking the long way of like where everyone's crowded. But it's like monkey see, monkey do, like monkey see, monkey do mentality. Or like, hey, the whole crowd is here, so it's like. I'm gonna just go because it's the crowd. But to me, it's more like, dude, the express lane's open and just say construction finished, but people are unsure of like going there because it looks empty. To me, I'm like, I'm still curious. So like, let's think of the positives. Like, if it is clear, it's all fucking done, work done and clear, bro. Then I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna take advantage because I'm gonna get there faster.
Heck yeah.
So I think that seeing that clear view picture of like, oh, you can't even see the clear view picture at the moment, but you have to think of it, right? Once you think of it, I feel that you get an idea of like, yo, where you want to take things and how are you going to do it in the process. And sometimes even like if it feels like, damn, I don't have the tools, I don't have the equipment, well, I'm like, dude, just go along the way, figure it out, like.
Just start.
Yeah, just start.
Like, just start, just do.
It's very important. Yeah. And I think like when I see something opening, like something being free and open while the crowd is on the other side, to me, it's more like, yo, I'm gonna be curious on that side because I think I could go faster there. And regardless, at the end of the day, people might look on the other side and be like, why is he going there by himself? Why is he taking that path by himself? Why is he going there alone? And to me, it's more like, why not?
Yeah.
Like why not? Why wouldn't I do it? And then it goes back to like just kind of controlling your mindset of like thinking of the positive outcome rather than the negative outcome.
Yeah, totally.
You start thinking of what can go wrong, and I always think like what can go right.
Well, yeah, it's that like affirmations in your mind, like when you speak negative to yourself, the whole concept of like that's like when you start to really manifest that.
Yes, hell yeah.
So going back to like the mental part of like when you get done, there's a reward to it. So not only is there like this like mental reward, what can you talk about to like the reward it's come from leads or it's come from actual business getting in front of the camera? Because that ultimately is like the reason you did it, right? Is like, hey, there's a monetary, outcome to this. Yes. So what, in your opinion, what do you see that being, I guess is the question. Or like, what can it be for someone?
Well, one, it could bring you to the spotlight a lot quicker too. Like just putting yourself up front or like in front of everyone a lot easier. When I started in 2019, it wasn't as common to have reels or TikToks for us people in our age, like millennials or early Gen Z. Like it's not as common to like put up a reel or a video up there because at that time it was more like if you're not on TikTok it's because you're not dancing or something. But if you're putting up clips, it's like, oh well, it's just a normal typical clips. People never saw your Instagram or your Facebook as like, yo, if they're already telling you to hit up your sphere, right? It's like why don't I just hit up these people or put myself in front of these people?
Totally.
Because like this is already technically like some form of sphere, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put something out there so I could at least get in front of more people a lot quicker. But now I guess like, into like 2022, going into 2023, I think you see it now where like, dude, like if you put yourself in front of like your own camera, your phone, you press record, and then you have editors on these platforms now, dude. Like it makes things a lot easier, man.
Totally.
Compared to like going on that iMovie, or just your Microsoft.
Back in the day.
Yeah, your Microsoft.
How much harder
softwares.
That was?
That was hard as hell, man. Because like you have to delete your freaking pictures or your videos. So it's like, man, like you have like beautiful memories there sometimes, and then you think like, damn, I have to delete it for a cheap little clip that. I mean,
because there's so much space. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a cheap
That's a whole other thing. Yeah.
Exactly, it's like a cheap little clip that like for people they might see it as like, oh, it might not get hits, it might not get engagement, but to me it's more like it's like a clip that just in general just took space or took something out of me.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, you know what? at the end of the day, it's just putting it out there, man. You have to put yourself out there, because if you don't put yourself out there, especially going into this new year, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard to, like, for people, one, to know you, and number two, it's like just being like relevant, man. Because I think being on social media or just being present in people's feeds, bro. Like if you're on there already, man, or you like you've been on there the past couple months or weeks just consistently.
Yeah, you got their attention.
Yes, people will view you as the go-to, and that's one of the like tips that my mentor, like managing broker here, he had mentioned to me at first. It's like, man, you got to position yourself as the go-to, the professional. That when people think of your name, people think of real estate. People think of real estate, they better think your name. When people think of your name, they better think of real estate. So that's one of the 100%. Things that always got me going, and to this day always gets me going.
Right. So with all that, converting your already sphere to like your business sphere. I kind of heard you talk about this before. What's your thought about that? Like making that one thing, like using your sphere that you've already had and not creating this like whole new business persona. Like, shouldn't it all be one, or how do you feel about that?
Yes, I think now it has to be you on camera. Right. Man. It has to be you, not just like what you're wearing and stuff, but it has to be like a representation of who you are. So like what our guest mentioned, like an extension of who you are and stuff. I think we are professionals, we are realtors. People will see it in our office, they'll see our business cards, they'll see our videos from our office and stuff. But at the end of the day, I feel like what you do on the extra hours, which is like that extra content, that extra social media. Yeah. I think what you put out there, it has to be like still a representation of who you are. Let me see who you are on the extra hours. Let me see who you are in the morning. Let me see who you are during the day when you are working. But let me see a little more. And I think that's one of the things that I struggled at first. I think that's one thing that like I felt like I lacked on like the past couple of years, where like I didn't show too much of myself back then. Like I wouldn't be wearing these Jordans now. Like
like showing the personal side of you, which is the thing that people actually like. If they want to buy from you, right? They like want to buy from like you, as well as like the person that knows. I know what I'm talking about.
No, definitely. Right. And then I think like just even now, just showing a little bit more like personality. I wouldn't feel comfortable back then with a hat on camera. Like, there's no freaking way, bro. But now it's more like, hey, let's test the grounds and let's put it out there. And I think more people are able to relate like that, because then they're going to be like, dude, this guy's like me. Hey, this guy wears hats. Hey, this guy has earrings. This guy has this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, whatever this guy's real. This guy's just a dude.
And it's just a dude. And that's the thing. And I always say, like, but it's like, oh, but that's going to show the bad sides of things. Or like, people won't want to work with you. They weren't going to work with you anyways. Just being straight up, man.
Yeah, let's make that clear. They did not mess with you before, and they still don't.
Exactly. So they weren't messing with you like yesterday, today. They probably won't mess with you tomorrow.
So with that, like, do you ever like find that to be like a struggle? Like, man, or caring more about like that sort of thing. Like, I guess even for me in our business, like sometimes I'm like, man, they don't want to work with us, or like it didn't work out the way I thought. It's a little less now, but initially I was like, it was hard. Memo's always been like, dude, it's business. It's the way it goes, not everyone's for you.
No, definitely. I think specifically, man, like now as I get older, man, I feel that, I might not like overthink it as much as before. Yeah. Maybe before I would have internal conflict going on. Totally. But now it's more like, you know what, dude? Like, man, life is short, bro. Let's just put it like that, man.
Let's just do
Life is fucking short, dude. And you put it in that context, bro. Trust me, bro. A lot of things become more clear. Let's get to the root. I always feel like I've been the person like, let's get to the root of things. Like, bro, like let me help you. Like, if you need help looking for a home, I need to know exactly what you want and your needs, right? And dissect the things that you're actually looking for and how I can better service you and help you and get this thing done.
So for 2023, and this will be my final question for you, what's your thing? Like, what's your plan? What's something that you see in the trend of marketing and branding specifically for like real estate agents?
I think for real estate agents in general, man, I think you have to put yourself on camera. I think, right now you might not see the change, or you might not see how quickly things change actually, like when it comes to just being on camera, dude, or video marketing, but things change quickly. I've been on this video marketing journey like the past almost 3 years. In March of 2023, I'll make 3 years. And I feel that I've seen constant changes. Some are slower, some are faster, but overall, at the end of the day, it's change. And from 2020 or even 2019 to now, like almost 2023, man, you already saw huge changes, huge leaps. But I think that we have a certain amount of time, man, and I think like here in the next 5 to 7 years, man, you're gonna see a big difference of like marketing and just put out content while you still can, because at the end of the day, I feel that if you're not on camera, dude, the game is gonna change very quick here onto 2024 as well. And then it's going to be ridiculously hard to even catch up in the middle of the decade.
Yeah.
So get started now.
The next generation's going to roll through, and they're gonna take it all, and
even faster, man. Because if we're already, and I'm a late millennial, early Gen Z, you could say. Yeah. So to me, it's more like if I already feel like, man, I don't feel behind, but what I'm saying is like I can already feel certain changes coming, and the future generation. They pick up on things a lot quicker, man. A lot quicker than we do.
It's a young man's game.
It is, man.
Or a woman's.
Man, that's what I say. It's like, that's how I feel that, like, that's why things are going to change so quickly, because these young folks are going to pick it up like that. Just think of, like, we think of our younger, siblings or younger family members. They're like, how quick they pick up a phone, how strong they are now, like at 3 or 4, something like that. But now it's like they're using computers, they're growing up with tablets. It's like, bro, imagine when they're fucking 17, dude. Imagine when they're like adults or they're like 25, especially when they're frontal cortex, like, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
still ready to be molded.
Exactly, exactly. They're in the process, man.
Still gooey.
And these guys are, man, they're gonna have it so much easier. They might not have the same hunger as we do. Some might have more, but some might not like fall in that category. But what I'm saying is that like still change is like it's come,
inevitable.
Man. It's inevitable, man. It's gonna come, dude. And you better strap on now before it's too late. And just hop on this video marketing game. It's not as scary as it is. No one's gonna bite. I'm gonna bite you.
Those cameras don't bite.
Those 3 to 4 people that you have in mind, cut them off, because those 3 to 4 people are probably the ones that are holding you back. So you got to get real with yourself sometimes when it comes to this video marketing game, because who are you really thinking is going to judge you when you're on camera? Think of those 3 to 4 people that come to mind. You got to really get serious about it. Because if you want to get serious about it, then, regardless if they're family members, close friends, analyze it, get real with it, and actually get to it. And once you get to it, you'll get to realize who's been holding you back this whole time. Yourself.
Hey, with that being said, thank you, Angel.
Appreciate you
having
me on here, man.
Yeah, my pleasure. So that's it. That's the first episode of the Reup podcast. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, if you haven't, go subscribe to our Instagram page, YouTube page, Reup Productions, or our website, reupproductions.com, baby. Take it easy.